Welcome to the Inspiration Station, hosted by Joshua Lenox, the place to fill up your tank if you're in need of encouragement and motivation.
Hey, y'all. It is Friday, June the 6th, and y'all know this is the Inspiration Station where we do what? We upsize in 2025 all day, every day. And as I continue to tell y'all better be saying it to yourself every day, each and every day. Let that be an affirmation. I'm upsizing in 2025. Everything is big. Everything around me is big. Every place I'm going is big. Who I am is big. So we upsize in 2025. I hope that you all have had an amazing week thus far, an amazing day. We have reached Friday. Somebody somewhere said, thank God it's Friday. I know you did. But I'm just so glad that you all are here as always. We're going to get right to it in just a minute. But for all the people who are, I want to give love to the people on every platform, YouTube Live, LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, and later on for those listeners on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and also Audible. Y'all, I feel like it's gonna be a few more that's gonna come out of my mouth one day. It seems like it's something else I need to add in there. But I wanted to say I appreciate all of you for tuning in and also for your support and also for your sharing. As I asked you all to do, be obedient. I ask you to share as much as you can because we all need to be reminded about being inspired and also being an inspiration. So again, as you're coming in and comments and things of that nature, let me know how your day has been so far. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know something that you even conquered even today or a challenge that you overcame. Because sometimes, y'all, it's just not always the easiest. But guess what? You can do anything that you put your mind to, and also you can overcome anything that you're going through. So I think I need to write that down. That sounded all right. It came off the top of my head. But anyhow, another thing, really quick, just some housekeeping for all of my new people. I'm going to give you all the instruction you need and understand what in the world is the Inspiration Station. I'm going to tell you that I'm so glad. Welcome to a new month, too, y'all. It's June time, and I'm gonna say it over. I know y'all like, Josh, you say that every time, but I do. Time is going by really fast, and we really want to make sure we're maximizing every moment that we're living in because life is too precious for us to waste anything. And I think that it's great for us to make sure that we are spreading as much love as we can, uniting as much as possible, just as we do need to do each and every day. And I mean, as the song says, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. And it's not just for some, but it's for everyone. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it, y'all, really quick. First of all, I want to just say welcome again to all those people who are always tuning in. Y'all are, so I don't like to say ride or die, ride or thrive. We riding or thriving over here. Ain't nobody dying over here. We riding or thriving. And I just want to say thank you for continuing to tune in and share. I've been seeing those things out there. Don't think I don't see stuff. I be watching and looking and lurking through everything. I asked y'all to share, and you're doing just that. So I appreciate that. Also, what is the Inspiration Station? Again, this is a name that I was given, a nickname I was given in 2012. Someone told me that they felt like that was when they hear my name, that's what they think because it's like I'm a radio station that sends out frequencies that just somehow know what people need to hear. And here we are, 2025, and we're utilizing this as a good old show and podcast. Who would have thunk it? Because I sure didn't. You wouldn't have been able to tell me that I'd be sitting in front of y'all right now on a camera in my face and with a microphone hosting a show and a podcast. It's just not something I thought was in the works. But guess what? Sometimes there are things in our lives that we don't even know we're gravitating to and attracted to. We just haven't seen it yet. But what do we expect here? Here on the Inspiration Station, you know what? Each and every one of you are an inspiration, not just to other people, but also to yourself. And I know some of y'all are like, I don't inspire nobody. I'm just a regular summer. Ain't nothing regular about you. You inspire people more than you think that you do. And also, you are inspiration to yourself. If you just take a few moments to reflect back over some things that you have encountered in your life, challenges, obstacles of any kind, and see how you have been so resilient and to get to the person and become the person that you are today, that's inspiration, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry to break the news to you. So you can't say that you're not an inspiration to yourself any longer. Also, this is a place where we explore being open, honest, and vulnerable, not just with others, but also with ourselves. Sometimes we like to keep a mask and play hide and go seek even with ourselves, but it's very important to be open, honest, and vulnerable with ourselves. Another thing about this is that there will be people on here. As you all are seeing, this is happening more and more every week. I told you it was coming. Y'all thought I was playing. I said that there will be people on here that I'll be interviewing, where you get to peek into their lives and see how much of an inspiration that they can be to you, and also learn about the good, the bad, and the ugly, even in their lives, and see how they are continuing to power through any and everything in their lives to be the best version of who they are. So, also, again, people you may have never met before, never know, never heard about at all, but everybody is a superstar here on the Inspiration Station, and just everywhere. That's what my thought process is. But also, there'll be people you've seen from afar, been influenced by, major names, people who are public figures, and they're gonna be right here because guess what? We all have in common. We are inspirations. So, without further ado, there is a special guest that I'm going to have today. Everybody's a special guest, but and everybody who's going to come on here is going to be special to me in their own intricate and special, unique way. I was about to say special again. Y'all pray for me. I'm sure in another way, but anyway, that's on another session, another episode. But there is someone who I'm going to bring forth really quick. The person is an extraordinary talent and gifted person. I can't even just say that she's an extraordinary and talented singer. She could do much more, y'all. And I mean, dancing, acting. It just is limitless. And also, one of the greatest gifts I believe that she is, and one of the greatest talents she has, is being an extraordinary mother, an extraordinary woman. She is someone who I've had the joy of knowing for a mighty long time. We're not going to say how long because we're not aging ourselves. But also, this is a person who was on, she's America's Got Talent Golden Buzzer. Also, she has been in several productions, Little Shop of Horrors, The Wiz. Y'all, I could just go on down the line. There's so many more things I can talk about, but y'all will get to see that in just a minute, hear more about that. But so many, also, let me say this, winner of the Apollo. Y'all know the Apollo is hard. Even today, y'all, stop acting like this is 1960 or something. Them people will still boo you if you're not good. And she won multiple times, actually. So, without further ado, I would like to bring to the Inspiration Station, to your listening pleasure and also to your viewing pleasure, none other than the honorable guest, Cristina Rae. Hi,
Hi.
Christina.
Hi, Josh. How
How
are
are you?
you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm good. Today's a good
Good.
day.
It is because you see me. I know. I understand. It's the best of
Absolutely.
the day. I'm so glad that I could be of pleasure to you on today. But
Me
we are so
too.
glad. Yes, we're so glad to have you here on the Inspiration Station. And again, you guys are going to see something about the biography and seeing some things that'll pop down on the post production of her, so you get to read a little bit more things. But there's some things I'm going to pull out of her today anyway. So she just don't know yet. But before I get started on anything, I just want to say that this is a person that you all see who I have been able to witness go from valley moments to high heights. And sometimes people admire her for her gift and singing and all of that. But it's like, it's a story behind that voice. It's a story behind everything you see her do, her performances of all kinds, you guys. And this just goes to show again, when I talk about being an inspiration, I know she knows she can be an inspiration to herself and also to each and every one of you. So now that I'm going to get started, now I'm not going to get too deep and personal yet, but I'm going there. Well, first question I want to ask you, Cristina. First of all, who is Cristina Rae? And you can answer that in whatever way you want to. You don't have to be your biographical things because the people gonna see that. But who is Cristina Rae?
Cristina Rae is not only a beautiful black woman, but I'm a beautiful black mother to an amazing 8-year-old little boy.
Yes.
Um, I do sing, act, and dance. But I'm finding that I also have and hold a lot of wisdom. And
Mm.
so I'm tapping into that, and I can't wait to tell y'all who I am when that all of that unravels.
Oh yeah.
But I am just a woman here that is trying to make sure that all of my dreams come true. With
Hmm.
God's grace and God's help, every goal almost has come true. So
Hmm.
I'm just, figuring out who I am, recalibrating. Who Cristina Rae was is not who she is today.
Mm.
And so I am relearning all of me because I've gone through a whole lot since
Yeah.
AGT, since the Apollo. So yeah, I'm a mama out here doing it.
Come on now, I'm a mama, and I think something to speak to that, Christina, is to know that yes, I'm a beautiful black woman. I'm also an awesome mother, and so there. Also, I always love to love on my moms because it's like you're wearing multiple hats. It's not you just
Absolutely.
don't. The title is a mom, but the position is several. It's like it's several different things I have
Absolutely.
to do, and also the importance of like you're saying. I'm trying to live my absolute dreams. A lot of things have come to pass, and I'm still after more. This is not just it for me. And just because I'm a mom, it does not limit me in any means to be able to do that. Also, because what something I pick up from you is that definitely you want to make sure that you know that you're exemplifying something for your son to know, hey,
Yes.
there is nothing you can't do, and you're gonna see. You don't have to look on television, read a book, anything. You got it right in the house to look at mama and say, I can do anything. So that means you can do anything.
Absolutely.
Speak to that just a little bit for me, if you don't mind, Christina, about being that influence. A lot of times, and I know one of your influences is a woman, somewhat of the name of Patti LaBelle, but like think
Yeah.
about how you were that person to look at someone from afar and be so influenced by her, but also now for your son, he has someone right up close and personal who he gets to see model out that behavior. So talk to me about the importance of that for you.
Um, So because I, of course, even while pregnant, I toured, I performed. I did not stop dancing until my ninth month. Um, because I did all of that, and after giving birth to him, he was still around it. I sort of become his like almost like his super mom. Him being not just watching from the sidelines, but me making sure that I bring him backstage, that I bring him on the stage. Like all of these things are now things that he is speaking. Like, I want to be able to do that too, mommy. I want to do that too. And when
Mhm.
it comes down to like us making plans and things, he's like, but what about when you go on tour? Like, what are you gonna do then? And I'm like, you're gonna be right here. Like,
Mhm.
we're both transitioning right now.
Mhm.
I am in New York, New
Mhm.
Jersey right now,
Uh-huh.
and like he is moving himself up here, or we're moving him and transitioning him to be here as well.
Yeah.
And so like being this little boy's inspiration is already something that I was told I wouldn't ever be able to do. I wouldn't have kids and stuff like
Mm.
that. So the
Mhm.
fact that I one have one that is inspired by all the shows, all the things that I do around the house, like
Mhm.
he is always watching. He does give me with me all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm just like, do I pop you or do I just acknowledge that I would have said the same thing? Like,
Right.
like I don't always
Right.
know,
Yeah.
but to be his a role model, I thought it had to be a man,
Hmm.
and I thought that it had to be his father,
Mhm.
and instead it is me, and I am his mom. I'm his sometimes he think I'm just his friend, but I'm his friend as well.
Yeah.
Because I want there to always be a balance of communication,
Sure.
and I don't want him to ever feel like he can't talk to me and all of those things. Tell me about the little girls, because now he is 8 and he want girlfriends, and it is wearing me out.
Your nerves down.
It is wearing me out, but I'm just like, this is a part of it. I went
Mhm.
through all of those things.
Sure.
I don't have every answer.
Mhm.
Uh, Especially being a mom, it's not in a book.
Mm.
And a lot of the mistakes that I believe that I've made still had purpose behind them. And
Mhm.
so I appreciate that he is very gentle with me,
Mhm.
and how he loves me, and I'm gentle with him as well. Because
Sure.
any opportunity or any gig or show that I do that may take me away from him for a few days or a few
Mhm.
weeks, a month,
Yeah.
I ask him, I inquire. I'm like, do I need to come home? Do I need to stop doing this? And it's a package deal. And
Mhm.
so the only reason he wasn't on tour with me during the Wiz is because he wanted to play sports. So it was like, okay, you can go play sports and I finished the
Mhm.
tour. But being his mom and being an inspiration and hearing him, I want to sing, and watching
Mhm.
him in shows where I watch all the kids do what he's doing.
Yeah.
And that used to be me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, whatever it is that he wants to do, whether it's sports, whether it's performing,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's being a doctor, I'm going to support every part of it, because it's not that I didn't necessarily grow up with all the support, but I didn't grow up with the push that I
Mm-hmm.
needed a long
Mm-hmm.
time ago. And I'm going to push him.
Mm.
I'm going to push him. And I am pushing him because he pushes me.
Yeah.
So,
I think what I hear about all of that, Christina, is that, there's a mirroring there. I see this child I want to cultivate. I see a lot of me stirred up in him. And it's like, I'm going to give him every opportunity that's available, but I'm not going to restrict him or limit him. I want to watch him and see where does he gravitate to. And then that's where I'm going to stand in the gap and I'm going to support him. Uh,
absolutely.
I love what you said about, he wanted to play sports instead of being on tour with mommy. And it's like, okay, well, go ahead on then. You gonna play your
Yeah,
sports, and I'm gonna be right here, and I'm gonna support you in that. But mommy gonna go over here and sing her heart out, and then I want to hear about your. I'm gonna want to hear about your game. I think
absolutely.
I think that's beautiful that you take that initiative. And again, is also because you don't get a manual. There's no book to tell you this is the perfect way to raise your child. There's no
No,
such thing that exists. So you have to go off of your instincts. And I know for you being a prayerful person and, things that's like I ask him again, you learn certain things as you guess how you gain wisdom as well through experiences. So one thing I want to ask you quickly, and again, you can answer this in a duality if you like, but I want to know what has been the greatest fear you have conquered so far? And again, that can be either personally or professionally or both. This depends upon you. No pressure on any kind.
the biggest fear I've conquered thus far is being okay, being alone. And
Hmm.
I say that when it comes to not only being a mom and a woman, but also in my career. Like when you
Mhm,
come off stage, you want to come into like your dressing room and it be the person you love and your baby there, and
mhm,
just the like, even your family and friends sometimes. But I've grown to be okay with going backstage and it just being me, giving me time to just
mhm, mhm,
like
mhm,
exhale, and being okay with my silence,
mhm,
and being okay with the fact that as much as I love music,
mhm,
sometimes it's okay to just sit there without
mhm,
it. But I've also realized that my love for music is definitely a parallel thing that I live.
mhm.
And I say that because people hear music, but they forget that in music there are rests.
Yeah.
And with the rest is what makes the song make sense. With the rest is what makes the song breathe a little bit more. And
Mhm,
all of it is needed. Like the notes are needed just as much as the rests are
mhm,
needed. And I am realizing that about myself.
mhm.
I like, my energy is needed, but resting is needed more too. And
Yeah.
so I've not allowed myself to rest, and I've been forced to rest lately, and I'm realizing that that is okay.
Mhm. I
So
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just saying that's I used to hate being by myself. I used
Mhm,
to think that something was wrong because I was by myself. And
mhm.
now I am just like, people are inviting me places, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm staying home. I'm staying home.
I'm good. I'm now I'm gonna stay home. Now I'm gonna stay
No, I'm
home.
gonna stay home. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I think when, like you saying, being by oneself. I often say the healthiest relationship that we might miss out on sometimes is one with ourselves. We're so busy about what we give. We're so busy about how we can pour into other people, how we can connect with people. And it's like, but are you connecting with yourself, or are you detaching from yourself? What's so wrong with me that I'm not sitting with myself? And I love what you illustrated with the rest of the music. I don't know why when you said that I started seeing sheet music, but when you said about the rest, but everything counts, whether it's a quarter rest, a whole rest, or
Yes.
whatever it is. And I even want
Yes.
to say something with that, because even with a quarter rest, it's not as much of a value as a whole rest. But sometimes knowing that might be all the difference with taking a nap or something in a
Absolutely.
whole rest, or that I take a moment to reflect, or I also recognizing a great point you made with this is I think about self care. You think about you singing and performing and got shows here and sometimes back to back to back to back, and you have rehearsals back to back to back to back. And it's like I am pouring out so much. And y'all, she gives 1,000%. Y'all, if y'all, so a lot of y'all I'm sure have seen her and it's just like she's giving it like it's her last time every time. So it's like, how do I find that solace or that peace within that calm of being able to say, you know what, let me pull back. Let me make sure Christina's okay. Let me check in
Mm-hmm.
with her. Let me just turn the music off.
Yeah,
Let's turn the noise off for a minute and make sure that I'm in tune and connected with me, because I don't want to be such a outpouring all the time that I literally am a desert inside.
absolutely.
I need to write that down.
Yes,
But
yes.
you don't want to be a desert inside and you done poured and say, what else is left? Okay, I done gave everybody a rainstorm with everything
Now
I
who gonna
gave.
rain on me?
Right. Come on and shine this rain on me.
Yes.
Anyway, but right, who's gonna pour that back into me? So I'm responsible in doing that, is what I hear you saying. That's my responsibility and
Mm-hmm.
accountability. And to also learn, the more I've started to love myself, the more I can say, I'm okay with sitting with me. I'm okay with being
Yes.
with me. So it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Quick question for you. What is one song? I know this might be a little challenging because I know you probably have several of songs you love, but what would you say is one song specifically that is biographical of you, for you, and why?
Normally, I would say somewhere over the rainbow.
Okay.
Lately, it is a song by Duran Bernard, and
Yeah.
it's called Specialty.
Yes. Yes.
And that
Yes. Yes.
song just keeps reciting, this is what it feels like when things go right. And
Yes.
I realized that you don't got to be in a state of worship with only gospel music.
No.
Like, I have listened to that song for 2 weeks straight.
Hmm.
Like, just on repeat, when as soon as I wake up, that's what I'm listening to,
Yeah.
because I am I feel like things are going right, even though it did not feel like this at the beginning. And I'm sure we're gonna be able to talk about a lot of changes that have happened lately.
Sure.
But this is like me being okay being alone playing the same song for hours upon hours is
Hmm.
something that I would have seen. This is a problem. Why am I
Hmm.
in the house? Why aren't I doing this? And that song, I listened to his whole album, but that song
Yeah.
and completed is like a man in the mirror song. And so
Yeah.
I have been reflective and reflecting on, after I've done the work, after I've cried all these tears, including the
Hmm.
happy ones.
Hmm.
Like, all of this matters. And if I focus on where I am at that moment instead of being excited to see the why, then, like, it don't make sense, because then I'm gonna go through it again and I'm gonna end up in the same spot. But
Hmm.
I have this gratitude for everything that I've experienced now.
Hmm.
And that song right now, Specialty, is hitting me in my heart every day.
Hmm. I think you said like, 'cause you don't want to be in the same pattern. Be more present. Be more
Yes.
present and not jumping so far to what's ahead. And I know what song you're speaking about. That man is something else. He don't even make sense. He's just don't. I think he's an alien or something. But
I want to be his friend so bad, friend.
let me know when you connect with. Just tell him I said what's up, because he just don't make no sense. But
No, I
I think
got
it's
you.
right. But I think like you said with even with a song of work, this does not have to be a. I believe there have been sometimes I remember hearing certain songs that were R&B, a pop, soul, whatever, jazz, whatever, that would have me in a place just as similar as a worship song. And it's like, well, oh,
Absolutely.
because they're not saying God, I can't reflect on the several different aspects of the Lord that's in this song or about
Mm-hmm.
our walk or anything like that. I think again, this is where we have to say any type of, we grow up talking about that's the devil's music. If it ain't gospel, it's devil. And it's like, what are you talking about? There are several different songs that can help me and edify my life.
Mm-hmm.
about love, about living, about caring, about healing. You know, it
Mhm.
didn't always have to come through the formula. It's all about what you want to take, how's the music being used, first of all. It's like some things
Absolutely.
probably be like, turn it off. But there are things that can be just as edifying. It's just a genre. But
Mhm.
based upon how you are in your own conviction. So it doesn't have to always be this, oh hallelujah. No, I don't have to do that. I can still give God glory for a song talking about like Kelly Price it's a song. She said, "I'm tired." She said, "I'm
Yes.
tired." She was basically saying like, "I'm tired of how I'm being treated by people." So it's like right, and the list goes on. So it's like, how come I can't give God glory that He's brought me out and delivered me from bad relationships and
Yes.
how bad I'm treating myself? It can be the same thing. It's all about how you want. I'm not even gonna sit on it. I feel like that's a whole episode right
Yes.
there. But
Yes, it is.
yes, but also, Christina, who are three of your greatest influences?
Three of my greatest influences. It would have to be my baby. One of them is my
Yeah.
baby. Um, and I say that because it's a lot of things that me as a mom, I don't know if every mom, but me
Mm-hmm.
as a mom, I worry and about him or about how we are working because he and I are working together. Like we move together.
Yeah.
We like if it affects me, it affects him.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of things that I'm always sometimes thinking about or overthinking, he answers without me bringing them to him. Like it's like a mommy. One time it was a cruise I was on, and he was just like, "Mommy, it's okay to go and make money." Like, but I was over here like, I need to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do this because
Right.
he needs his mom, and he
Mm-hmm.
just looked at me, and I think he had like some chips or something in his hand. He was
Yeah.
like, "It's okay to go and make money, mommy," and just went to crunch it again, and I was like, okay, and but I started tearing up.
Yeah.
But he would be number one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my number two would have to be my vocal coach.
Oh, I know who that is.
He has been in my life since I was 7.
Yeah.
And when I tell you I gave him a hard time, like I was like, drop my jaw. I want to say like Beyonce. I want to say Destiny's Child. And
Right.
you want me over here. Ooh. And now I'm realizing like all of that was connected. And
Yeah.
now I can sing from Destiny's Child to Nessun Dorma by
Mm-hmm.
Luciano Pavarotti.
Yeah.
I can go and sing In the Air Tonight, Phil Collins. So he opened me to all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave him such a hard time, but he still loves me. He gave me 3 roses a few weeks ago when I
Mm-hmm.
sang at the City Winery in Nashville,
Yeah.
and he was like, you take these in your dressing room and they're blessed and all of that. Honey, I brought them things home
I
and
know.
they've been right here. Right after I put them in that dressing room, they in here now. And now
Yeah.
he just here.
Yeah.
But he's one. And then I would have to say my influences. Lately, my influences have changed.
Yeah.
So I would have to say is one of them is my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as being a parent myself now, I realize that you and your child are growing together.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you are a few years ahead does not necessarily mean that um you know it all. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes my mama, she has these moments where she be like, I don't know it all, Chris, so I just be asking. And I'm like, I appreciate that
Yeah.
because the lack of communication that our generation from our parents and older, it
Sure.
was not communication. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was your child stay in a child's place, and like you need to consider your kids a lot more than you do,
Sure.
even them being younger, because
Mm-hmm.
they a lot more tapped in because they just got here than we
Yeah.
are. And
Yeah.
sometimes we forget who we are because of everything that is here and present that we can touch. And we
Mhm.
forget that there is something that we can always learn from our babies. And so
Mhm.
my mom lately has, she sort of become my baby. And sometimes I just be like, I'm not doing that with you today. I'm not. But other days I'm just like, my mama is really pushing through in spite of even
Mhm.
the things she's not told me about, the things that she probably doesn't, she suppressed so far that
Mhm.
she will never bring out. She's still a beautiful woman, and
Sure.
she's still going strong, and
Mhm.
she still has this beautiful smile like she ain't been through any of it.
Mhm.
So my mom, my baby, and Mr. Cran.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think it's again, all three of them have been teachers to you. All of them have
absolutely.
been, all of them are examples to you. All of them have probably tried your last nerve too. So we think about all of the commonality of that. I think there's also something you said. I think as you grow and mature, in your life and you're evolving and changing and things of that nature, so does my perspective on who is influencing me, who has impacted me, who is impacting me. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's funny, like if somebody says, well, who's your favorite artist? And it's like, well, it was such and such and such, but now, if you would ask me 5 years ago, was this, but now it's this person. And I think
Yeah,
it speaks to the growth that goes on with you. And again, it's you had the shifts that have happened with you. It just frames things differently for you now. It's not going to always remain the same, which is always, I think, a part of a healthy way of growing and experiencing
absolutely.
things as you experience life differently than when you were before. So, yeah. Well, you know what? What's one story that you don't mind sharing that speaks to you overcoming a huge obstacle that you know will inspire and encourage, even though encourage others, even though you're already dropping some things, but one specific thing that stands out to you, a story that you don't mind sharing with us quickly, that has you overcoming a major obstacle that you know that will inspire and encourage others.
So last year I
Hmm.
was on Broadway doing
Hmm.
The Wiz. Unfortunately, I did not get to I didn't get to complete my contract.
Hmm.
And I didn't get to complete my contract because I injured myself
Hmm.
while working and stuff like that. And I cried every day. Like I cried every day. May 17th,
Hmm.
2024 was a sad date for me.
Hmm.
Um I've I'm now in a whole year of being injured. I had meniscus ACL surgery in November.
Hmm.
May 20th of 2 weeks ago, I had spine surgery because I had a cracked disc.
Hmm.
I have to have two more surgeries, a hip surgery and another knee surgery. Um, and I cried a long time. Like I cried
Hmm.
almost every day because to go from performing 8 shows a week
Hmm.
to then nothing, like
Hmm.
just physical therapy, doctor's appointments,
Hmm.
it sort of makes you feel like, did I really want this dream? Like, why would you give me my dream and then snatch it like that?
Hmm.
But through all of that, I'm not having to pay for any of the surgeries.
Mm,
The way God set me up, like it's workers comp, but workers comp be, they trip. Like they want to trip on you a lot of
oh yeah.
times, but I'm still secure.
Mm,
My son is still good.
mhm,
And a lot of me getting to know me in this recalibration that has had to take place, not being able to move and dance the way that I've danced, and
mhm.
not necessarily letting go of that I won't ever dance again, because I'm
Sure.
going to dance. I'm going to
Absolutely.
dance.
Absolutely.
But just the realization of being okay with not right now.
Mm,
Like, sit down,
mhm,
rest.
mhm,
Like, I've never rested. Even during the pandemic, I
mhm,
was on AGT.
mhm,
So I have not been still since probably I was 15. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm a few numbers further. And
From
it's
there,
just
yeah.
like oh my gosh, like this
Yeah.
is what rest feels like. And this is
Mm.
what not only resting but trusting God feels like, because it's a lot of people who were injured without any funds. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I could have walked outside and injured the same thing, but God let me injure, or allowed me to be injured in this space at this
Mm-hmm.
time. And God only injured things that made me sit down. Like
Mm.
I fell, I fell a few times, like a knee completely. I danced the whole time on a torn ACL and meniscus
Mm-hmm.
on a
I believe
tour.
it. Mm-hmm.
So like, to be able to do all of those things, like the doctors kept saying, I don't understand how you walking. And I know how I'm walking, but
Yeah.
you don't, it's not for you.
Yeah.
You honor medicine. I
Mm.
honor God.
Right.
And so like, be making this whole year, knowing that I still have to have two more surgeries, but I still have my house. I
Mm-hmm.
still like it. There are things that would not have happened the way that they happened had I not been still.
Mm.
Like the stillness part, I
Mm-hmm.
battled with, because I'm like, this is wrong. This is
Mm-hmm.
lazy. Like, you're not supposed to be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Something is wrong with you being still. And
Yes.
nothing is wrong with me being still. Like,
Mm.
I get to watch the sunset every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that and it makes me emotional because we forget about it.
Yeah.
We just go with, I gotta go to work. And my shows, call time will be like 6:30, 30 minutes before stage.
Mm-hmm.
And so by the time the sun is setting, I'm on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And I get, sometimes if my medicine wear off, I get to watch the sun rise. And so like, I have had some amazing beautiful moments, not just alone, but with my friends and people that
Mm-hmm.
love me. I've been, it feels like God put me in a sifter and just kept doing this until like, if all the impurities are out and
Mm.
all the things that I have been trying to hold on to for a very long time,
Yeah.
or even the new things that I have tried to just be like, come on, you can come with me. Like, God has the, it's not even isolation, it's like safety. I'm in
Ah.
his safety. Like, that's how I feel. And like, when I
Mm-hmm.
tell you, I've been, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that I could be happy not performing. I didn't
Mm.
know that I could be happy
Come on.
not, like, being Cristina Rae, because I'm
Yeah.
still Christina Fentress at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
And I was getting frustrated with other people always wanting me to be Christina Rae. And I wasn't, I was always putting me in Christina Rae,
Mm.
because that's what I had to show up as, or I thought that's what I had to show up as, especially being on AGT and all of
Mm-hmm.
these things now. And so,
Yes.
like, I would just say that me being more excited about the why I have to go through all of this has been something that I have held on to. And I'm so grateful that God is not having to make me wait to see my why. Like,
Mm.
I, when I
Wait,
tell you,
wait. I'm sorry. Say that again. Say it again. I can't. I can't let you go. Say it again.
I am so grateful that God has not made me or required me to wait to see some of my why.
Jeez.
Like, it there are so many things that, like, in a month, from a month right now that I've gone
Mm-hmm.
through, that I'm still like, God gonna take care of. So I just had $4,000 stolen from me, my bank account hacked, all of that, the day before rent was due. And I was just like, I don't get this. I don't understand it. I don't do people wrong. I don't do
Right.
this to people. And so,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm not, Wells Fargo has not given my money back, but guess what? It's gonna come back. Like that kind
Yeah.
of peace that I have is like
Mm-hmm.
a, I understand why people think that all homeless people are crazy. And
Mm.
homeless people are normally either really, really happy and it look like I need some of what he got, or
Yeah.
they crazy. But it's
Right.
because you don't know their peace. They don't have
Yeah.
anything that we have, and we are the miserable ones.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
to be sitting in like a constant state of, oh my gosh, my body hurts. But I get to
Mhm.
feel that my body hurts. My body has been numb for a whole year. If I'm
Mm.
like, because it's
Yeah.
nerves that were pushed and nerves that were damaged, and
Mhm.
so like I shouldn't be happy. I shouldn't be
Mm.
experiencing this joy that I have, but this joy that I have, I've worked for. This
Yes.
joy that I have, I've sat still for.
Mm.
And I'm just going to say that anybody who is having to sit still or being
Mhm.
forced to just be in silence, I promise
Yes.
it won't be, I promise you'll enjoy it. Like,
Mm.
it's going to come a point where, like, being a woman and I'm growing and aging, I don't care. I'm 35. I'm cute, but I don't look like it.
Tell them, saying y'all heard her.
I'm cute. And but people be like, you're not in your 20s. I'm like, no, but I
Mhm.
can be. What you need me to
Right.
do?
Today
But
I can.
like I am so I'm blessed. I don't gotta
Mm.
like I don't have to worry about
Mm.
nothing. And I'm grateful that at 35 I get to figure that out instead of at 65. And
Mm.
and and I'm and I can enjoy the things that I've worked for. Like
Sure.
I don't have I can't be mad at God for sitting me down because I would have never allowed myself to sit down. I would have run myself into the dirt.
Mhm.
Like you hear that you'll sleep when you die. Why
Mm.
why do I have to wait to rest? Like
Mm. Why do I
why
have
does
to
my
wait?
rest have to be my eternal rest? Like
Yeah.
so I just when it comes down to it, enjoy the stillness, enjoy the chaos that you are constantly in because we don't know what we are walking in when we walk in outside of our houses. Like
Mhm.
energy and spirits are everywhere.
Mhm.
And when I tell you that I don't know what God be doing, but God be doing God, okay?
Yes.
And I'm just grateful that what I thought was a tragedy or like the worst thing ever has been some of the most, it's a gift.
Mhm.
And I have learned to be grateful, even though it doesn't look like the route that I wanted to take. And
Mhm.
so, like, even though I didn't get to finish my contract, I got all my credits.
Mm.
I got a Broadway credit.
Mhm.
I got an original cast credit. Like, I
Mhm.
got my credits.
Yeah.
I'm a unioned person, and it's
Yeah.
ugh. But it's like I and if I'm in being candid, I fell at the Today Show on a wet stage.
Ah.
So like the way God set me up
Mhm.
is a setup.
Yeah.
Like it's a setup, and even you know that I would. Well, AGT told it too, but you know that I was pregnant and
Yeah.
homeless. So sleeping in
Yeah.
my truck
Mhm.
to and still working, but it's still not feeling like it's enough, being enough
Mhm.
to now being still and I'm on the 29th floor of a
Mhm.
high rise. That's my house.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
a you can't like nobody can tell me that that's not a God thing. So
Yes.
enjoy the stillness. And I know you said quickly,
No, you good.
but I just it's the setups are people be saying it's a setback for no the setups are setups.
Oh.
The
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
setups
Yeah.
are
I set
setups.
up. So wow.
And so like I'm not saying everything is gonna feel good, but everything is for
Mhm.
your good.
Absolutely.
Everything. And I hate that I had to rest like this. Like God was like, sit down. Like That's how I feel like God yoked me up.
Involuntary rest.
Yes. And so like I'm grateful.
Yes. Uh-oh. You there, Christina? Okay, you're back.
Did it
Okay.
mess it up?
No. You're fine. It just blacked out
Am
for a
I
second. You're
moving?
fine. No, you are. You live. You are. It's all the way live. You live.
Oh, okay. I can't hear you. Do I
You
need to
can't
come
hear
out and
me
come
at
back in?
all? Yeah, do that.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Y'all, as Christina is preparing, we just have technical things, but we keep moving, y'all. Ain't nothing stopping. I know I'm pretty sure if y'all are like I am, y'all are completely full. Can you hear me, Christina? Are you back?
Can you see me?
Uh-huh, I can.
I can't see me, but as long as you can see me, I'm good.
Okay, and as long as you can hear me, we good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
I want you to. I want you to just kind of finish what you were saying too. I don't want because I know it kind of cut off, but just again, what you were the last statement you were making.
What did I say, friend?
Oh goodness, see now why do you have to put it back on me?
Enjoy the stillness.
Yeah.
And I said enjoy the stillness and just just trust God, but trust that God is not going to, like people say he would never leave you nor forsake you. Like God is not going to allow you to leave you and you
Mm,
to forsake you either. And
mm,
so like I could have had any other Broadway show
sure.
because I had other offers
Hmm.
before I even started the Wiz, but
Right.
to know that I did get to do I got to reach my goal. I got to do what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
And then it was like, okay, you've done that. Now write that off.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it is later on a prophet hit up my aunt and she was like, or he was like, how's your niece being, the one that performs? And she was just like, well, she did just have an injury and
Hmm.
she's been down and she's sad and stuff. And he was like, well, tell her she's gonna be better than she was working after all of this is finished.
Hmm.
And he was like, God just needed her out of that energy. It wasn't
Mm,
necessarily that it was bad, but it wasn't for her. And
mm.
so the opening show was April 17th. God did not let me go back to work on May 17th.
Wow.
God allowed me to get even including the album that was, I don't even, was it Grammy nominated? Yeah, it was Grammy nominated.
Hmm.
Including the album. God allowed me to do all that in 1 month and then said, okay, she got all her credits. Now sit down.
Wow.
So it's purpose in it all. It may not feel like it and it may suck
Goodness.
at times, but
Yeah.
I promise you, if you learn to get excited about the why, it's gonna make sense. Be excited about the things you see that you say you want. Be excited about like as
Mm,
if it was here already. Because I told my friend, I was like,
mhm,
I would not show up anywhere if they're not excited to see me. Why
mhm.
would I go somewhere and you ain't excited that I'm on my way?
Yeah.
And so like that's how I'm very protective of who I am now. Like
Mhm,
everything does not get access to me.
mhm.
Everyone, you
Right.
don't just get to hug me because we in church. Like
Mm, mhm.
I have to protect my body
Yeah.
because God has protected my body,
Yeah.
not just in the physical, but
Sure.
all of it.
Mhm.
So yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I won't say nothing else, I mean, but seriously, let me say something, and I know we're gonna wrap. We got to wrap up, but what I want to say, and I'm glad that you took your time, because
I'm sorry.
this is what. No, 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 no. Say so, y'all. If we wasn't on air, I would have to get on her, but I'm not gonna do this right now because we in public right now, Christina. So you better be glad. But now,
My
I'm glad.
apologies.
And again, apology, y'all. Okay, after this, Christina, you and me, I'm finna have to
Oh,
let
I'm
you
gonna
have
end
it
with
for
y'all.
this. I'm gonna have to let you have it. But I want to say I'm glad that you did state everything that you did because I did hear so many things that this pain is purpose in my pain, and even that it is for me to be still is in His will.
Mm-hmm.
For me to be still is in His will. So it's like I needed to sit still, because again, maybe I wasn't hearing like I need to hear. Maybe I wasn't seeing like I needed to see. Maybe I've been grinding and handling my business. So God was like, hey, I need you to come lay in these green pastures right quick, daughter, because
Yes.
you're doing so much and you're doing good, but I need you. You're not even taking care of yourself. You're not even taking care of your temple. And I understand you're out here being faithful over what I've put you before you, because it took time to get here and you worked very hard. So I appreciate it. However, I want to make sure that you learn that it's time to sit. I'm gonna let you get everything you need to get. Then I need you to have a seat. And I
Yes.
know I'm gonna have to. I know you because I know you as my child. Just like he knew to send that whale. Well, actually, I found out it was actually a shark for Jonah. That he knew to have him at that longitude and latitude for
Did.
Jonah, because he's like, I know my child. He ain't gonna want to go to Nineveh. He's scared. So let me go on and send this. So I'm gonna get him by himself, get him still, get him quiet, because I know what's really on the inside of him. I know he got a yes in there, but I have to get him from all the distractions and get him out of his fear for a minute, and then I'll let the again, y'all. It was a shark. I just learned this, y'all. Learn your theology, learn your stuff. But shark vomiting him back up, and then it's like, okay, now you're ready. Go on and do what you got to do. In the same parallel as you, it's like, I got to sit you down. And even as that prophet said, one thing I was thinking, and I kept saying, I kept hearing in my spirit when you were speaking, it's like God needed to, he's recalibrating and rebuilding you. And we're gonna and set you before when it's time again, set you out like it's like you are a whole new person, got a whole new body,
Absolutely.
yada 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 yada. You got a whole new everything, right?
Honey, I
Everything.
may be a little tin woman, but I'm doing it.
Oh no, hello, right? We're gonna slide some more to you, So let it trickle down your spine, but
Please. Please,
but
Lord.
right. But I think again, this is almost like you're just being made over. You're being rebuilt. You're being restructured. You're being renewed. You're being refined. You're being reestablished. You're being this Renaissance woman in all types of ways. It's not just the performance connoisseur, but it's also the woman I'm becoming. And also, this gives me something new to sing about, something new to
Yes.
stand on, something new to share, to speak on, to write about. Catch that, to write about. But there's certain different things now that you're going to do and see that you weren't able to do before. And it just almost made me think about, even though you were hurting and anything, I feel like even in this life, we're going to suffer. We're going to have hard times. We're going to have challenges. You never know what it takes for somebody to get on camera or get on a stage or get before a classroom, get before an audience, get on YouTube, post on their social medias. You don't know what it takes for somebody, and they're smiling and going on, and you don't know what kind of physical, emotional, mental pain that they're dealing with, even spiritual pain that they might
Yes.
be in that moment. But I think also that's a great story of endurance. That's a great story of perseverance, a great story of courage. It takes courage to continue to perform night after night after night, knowing I'm in pain, but this is what I asked for. And it
Yes.
did not come easy in any way. But if it had to lead me to this point to where I can be, it's proven I'm more than a conqueror, because I've been able to utilize, illustrate that in what I'm
Yes.
doing. And He even had provision for me in the midst of what has brought me so much pain. He's provided everything I need, and I have more. I'm living in abundance. I'm living in freedom. I'm at a place of peace now. I understand what them old folks were talking about, like that surpasses all understanding. What now, y'all? I do know Cristina back in the day probably would have been ready to snap, crackle, and pop on somebody. $4,000 was stolen from her, but now it's like, well, look at what God has done. Look at what my posture is. And again, maybe even in just like the scripture said, it's for me to just be still and let God fight my battle.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because there's no need for me to raise up, because he got me. And that whole setup to a setup, because we do hear that all the time. Oh, it's a setback for
It
us.
is.
God ain't gonna set me back. It might
No.
feel like a setback, but really it's always him setting me up. Because how do we go from glory to glory if it's not a setup to take us higher to what's the next thing? So I think your story is phenomenal. And again, y'all, even the tidbits of what she was sharing about homelessness and things of that nature, you to be in the things that you desire, you dream about, you envision, even when you were a kid, as a young adult, whatever it is, those things, they come with cost and prices that you don't see immediately. There's sometimes these things that are invisible that pop up, and you're like, hold on. Even if God has shown you something, he's saying this is going to happen for you, but he doesn't always give you this detailed, specific role. But he never does. Actually, now he doesn't. He never gives you detail by detail, so you don't know sometimes those things that are going to be for your development as the processing of who you're becoming. You see yourself.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure some of you all have seen yourselves in the future in some ways. You're like, oh my God, I can't wait to get there. And you never understand what it's going to take for you to see that person. And even as you said, Cristina, as I'm getting ready to shut this down in a minute, but this thing was good to me, y'all. Wait a minute. But also, when you said to get excited about the why and like the little things, the small things, and to act like you already have this stuff. I said it on the podcast when I first started about saying how as a kid I'd be in the background in the backyard with a shovel, acting like I was performing to people, and I would act like I was dancing before people. I would act like I was quoting lines from movies, acting like I'm
Mm-hmm.
not knowing where that was leading me. And I've seen those things, and it's still more to come out. But also, what have been the pieces in between that I need to collect? What are the other parts of things that God wants me to do? Maybe He does sit you down sometime to also speak to you about other talents you have that you don't know, other giftings you have, other places or people that you're called to that you don't know right away. And it's like if I sit you down, I'm not saying that your dream is over. I'm saying let's take a break because there's some things I need to pour into you. There's some things I need to get out of you. There's some things I need to strengthen you in, in order to go to the next phase of your life. So I think everything that you stated, and it was going to be one more question, but you kind of in a sense answered it without me even thinking about it. I was like the good, bad, and the ugly, but that's all those things we do need to live by. Romans 8:28, that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are called according to His purpose. All things,
All
everything,
things.
good, bad, ugly, right, wrong, better, worse, whatever. It all works for your good, even when you don't feel good or when it doesn't seem good. It's going to work for your good. And we're in the presence of somebody, y'all, who knows what it's like to be at the lows of lows, and she knows what it's like to rise to the top, knowing that she didn't get there on her own. It wasn't
Mm-mm.
just her talent. It wasn't just her gifting. It wasn't just her abilities, but also in a sense, it's her story. And when she was
Absolutely.
on AGT, they did tell the story. And one thing I love about how your son was more of a star than you were because they really were honing on him. But again, it just goes to show that through every trial and struggle that she's been through, we're looking at somebody who knows what a miracle looks like. We're looking at somebody who knows what favor looks like. We're looking at somebody who knows what huge obstacles and challenges, fears they look like. She knows what these things look like, and she's still standing strong today, still having surgeries and stuff coming. But she's still moving forward. She's never stopped, and she's not
Mm-hmm.
regressing, and she won't stop. And I like to think about, as I close this, think about what she said, ladies and gentlemen, when she said, "I will dance again." This is this just because I'm on a pause. I'm on a pause, on a hard pause for right now, and I got other things to get together with my body. But that does not mean that the story ends with that.
No.
It just means that again, I'm being rebuilt in some of these areas. So let me take a breath. But as we come to an end on today, look, Lord have mercy, I'm ready to knock everything over on this table, but I'm gonna hold myself together. But let me say first, Cristina, it is a pleasure to have had you on here today because again, and I want to really let you know, please, by all means, continue to shine that bright light. You always have had a bright light. It was always something different about you. You know, people I used to singing with you back in the day. I just sometimes you would lead a song and I just be like, it's just not fair. Like it's just easy. Like, and then you put the mic down like you ain't done it. I'm like, what? But it was always something special. And I'm pretty sure any of my Nashville or people who are watching, who has been able to be privileged to watch her sing since she was young, here in Nashville, you just knew it was something different. You know, okay, she going somewhere. Child, I don't know where she going, but it's beyond here. It's beyond whatever. And then to see God unravel those things and roll those things out for you and in you, and then also knowing that it's not just about it's a story behind every note that you sing. It's
Mm-hmm.
a story behind every line that you give, every dance move, anything of that nature. It's a story behind that smile. And again, like you said about your mother, you even look at yourself like you have no idea what I've been through. But at the same time, I'm so glad I've been through it and that I can still smile and I can still push forward each and every day, having joy, the joy that the world did not give to me. My circumstances didn't give to me,
Nope.
and it can't be taken away. And I refuse to allow anyone, as I protect myself, I refuse to allow anyone to take that away from me or come in between my peace or my joy. But
Absolutely.
please also continue to be this beacon of love, because there's something about you that radiates, not only when you sing, but when you speak or just in your presence, before you even say anything, that radiates to let people know that they feel welcomed And I think why that happens for you is because there's things in you that you have felt and known and experienced in your past where you didn't feel welcomed. You didn't feel welcomed and always didn't feel wanted. So then to be able to be in a space where you can provide that and don't even know that just when you show up, you don't have to open your mouth to sing, you don't have to open your mouth to speak, but that you can radiate that and people gravitate to that. So
Yes.
I just
Thank
want to
you.
say I'm so privileged to have had you on here today, and just knowing that there's so much more that's within you to do. So much people in the world have not. They thought people all over the world just thought they done heard you sing and said, and they know you can do Broadway. They know you can do those things, but also other things. Because I really see television coming for
I
you.
see that too.
You
Because
do.
that's what I've been speaking.
Well, look, hey, we touch and agree on that. But I see
Yes.
television. My vision. My natural vision might be cataract crazy. And I'm just joking, y'all. I can see. Stop laughing, and Cristina, you stop laughing too. But anyway, I see that. I definitely see there being more things, and then also more cameos with people. You standing with people, y'all. She's been able to meet people who she's been influenced by. I think all of that, but I think there's certain things, levels of things that you standing next to those who have influenced you, and passing the baton in other ways in your own way. So, y'all, this is a wrap for this wonderful episode today. I want to thank each and every one of you all for tuning in. And like I say, always share, share, share. And if you don't share, your feet are going to itch for 5 minutes. I'm not playing. Share this with everybody. Share this with everybody on every platform. Like I said, again, I really appreciate you all who are already doing that and doing a phenomenal job with that. So we just don't want to keep this stuff to ourselves. We want to give it and spread it out as much as possible to whomever. You never know who needs to hear things like this. So, and as I always tell each and every one of you, you've always been great. You're just getting better. You have always been great. No matter what things look like or how people treated you, you've always been great. You're just getting better. So I hope that you all have an amazing remainder of this evening and weekend. Be safe and let this nugget carry you each and every day as we go on. As I see you guys next Friday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll be right here. And who knows who's going to be in the seat next week? You won't know unless you show up. You got to show up and get here. So don't meet me here, beat me here. I need y'all to be waiting in them rooms and be sitting here patiently waiting on me to come in here. So much love to all of you. Again, make sure you love as much as you can, and make sure that, because it starts with you. We need unity now more than ever, all over this world. So without further ado, I will see y'all. Love you much, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching The Inspiration Station with Joshua Lenox. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.